I want to start by quoting a statement released an hour ago by Iran's Supreme Leader Mustafa Khamenei, saying that the criminals will soon have to pay for their blood. Referring to Ali Larijani, who was killed yesterday, it's worth noting that there is still no proof of life of the new Supreme Leader, and this statement is being reported by Reuters through Iranian state media. This is happening alongside events in the Islamic Republic, where at night Israelis launched a precision strike to kill Ismail Khatib, Iran's Minister of Intelligence, who was responsible for shutting down the internet in the country. See archive footage of him. He also coordinated sleeper cells of the Iranian regime around the world. He is the third high-ranking Iranian official eliminated in 24 hours. Along with the Basij commander Soleimani and Ali Larijani, these three were responsible for the repression of protesters earlier this year. And this is part of an operation to clear the way for Iranian civilians in case they decide to return to the streets. We followed the attacks by Zakor Foewa, where the Central Command used 5,000-pound bunker buster bombs for the first time in this conflict against fortified Iranian missile sites in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. This map shows where the attacks on the anti-ship missiles occurred, which threatened this critical waterway. While these attacks are taking place, U.S. CENTRALCOM and Israel are striking ballistic missile positions, command and control centers, and other strategic locations. Did the Iranian regime think they could hide them from American and Israeli planes? Israel also released new videos showing attacks against Iranian infrastructure, and reports say that gas facilities in southern Iran were also hit. Today it shows Basij forces setting up checkpoints in Tehran, the capital of Iran. They are being hunted by the Israelis to prepare the ground in case civilians want to take to the streets. Now, John, tonight the Israelis are expecting more missile attacks from Iran. The regime continues to use cluster munitions in the country, killing at least 2 people.
John Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv brings the latest news. Trey, thank you. And Lucas continues in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. He has the latest updates for us. Hello, Lucas.
Good afternoon, John. Iran has issued a new warning to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, stating that their energy facilities will soon be targeted. After accusing Israel of bombing the world's largest gas field in the Persian Gulf, which is shared between Qatar and Iran. As you said, John, the Central Command of the U.S. also issued a warning asking Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz. The Americans are dropping 5,000-pound GBU-72 deep-penetration bunker bombs on Iranian missile bases on the coast near the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM states that these missiles in underground locations pose a real risk to navigation and to U.S. warships in the region. This bomb is new, John, tested by the Air Force in 2021 and used for the first time in combat against the Houthis in Yemen 2 years ago. The president of the Iranian parliament, equivalent to Mike Johnson, has issued a new warning. The situation in the Strait of Hormuz will not return to its pre-war status. Today, Iran launched more attacks in the Emirates. The United Arab Emirates air defenses were activated 3 times today, shooting down 13 ballistic missiles and 27 drones launched by Iran via the Persian Gulf. According to the defense, it seems that some of these shots were aimed at Dubai International Airport in the Strait of Singapore. Observers saw the USS John Tripoli and its amphibious group sailing with 2,000 Marines on board. With 5th-generation stealth fighters, Ospreys, Super Stallions, and attack helicopters. At 15 knots, the task force will take about a week to reach the Northern Sea. It was shot down in the Middle East, in the Arabian region, and would be the ground force if the commander ordered troops to Iran or to Kars Island. Shot down in the Southern Gulf, Plain, Persian Gulf. In this war, Iran has launched 2.5 times more warheads at the United Arab Emirates than any other country, including Israel.
John, Qatar opposes Israel's pursuit of the gas field. It's unclear if exploration will continue. Lucas Tomlinson, Washington. Moments ago, the Iranians launched several ballistic missiles at Tel Aviv. We can see Israel's defense systems intercepting the enemy fire. We are following the developments coming from Iran after the Israelis launched a series of airstrikes yesterday against facilities linked to the South Pars gas field in Iran. This field is also connected to a field in Qatar, and immediately the Iranians responded with attacks against that facility, the industrial city of Ras Laffan in Qatar. This is the largest liquefied natural gas export facility in the world. And according to local authorities, as of 7 hours ago, 2 of the 3 fires caused by these explosions were under control. But severe damage was reported at this critical natural gas facility. President Trump turned to Truth Social to say that Israel, out of anger over what happened in the Middle East, attacked the important South Pars gas facility in Iran. He stated that there will be no further attacks, but the act raises questions about the escalation of the conflict. This comes after Iran launched more attacks against Israel. During the night, sirens sounded throughout the central region of this country, with interceptions occurring in the sky. You can see here part of the enemy fire coming through the skies of Israel, and we also know this. During the night, at least 4 people died, 3 in the West Bank, Palestinians in a beauty salon, and 1 person in the central region of the country. A spokesperson for the Israeli forces commented on active defense systems against incoming fire.
We have air defense systems. I can already say that they are among the best in the world, and this has been proven. Unfortunately, the defense is not infallible. We use our systems to intercept these missiles. Cluster missiles are a war crime. If this terrorist regime targets population centers, they are no different from regular missiles, except for their dispersion.
Last night, some of these cluster munitions fell in the center of Israel. This week, debris from an Iranian missile fell on the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The holy sites in Jerusalem have closed because of the conflict. Later, we'll have details about Operation Epic Fury when, at 8 in the morning Eastern Time, the Pentagon will hold a briefing.
Exactly. We'll be watching closely. And Trey, there's a lot of talk about Iran's new supreme leader, Mustafa Khamenei. And the latest information comes from an Israeli national security source who told Fox News, describing him as a figurehead who is not in command of the regime. But perhaps even more importantly, this person goes on to say that the current Iranian regime is broken, confused, and barely functioning. You know, it has been the goal of Israel and the U.S. for the Iranian people themselves to overthrow this regime. And really, it seems that these are the conditions that could allow that to happen.
Absolutely. There are groundwork operations underway to lay the foundation in case civilians want to return to the streets of Iran. Ali Larijani was dismissed this week. He led the crackdown on protesters this year. Yesterday, the death of the Iranian intelligence minister in Israeli attacks was confirmed. All of this aims to establish this base, but we should note here that the Iranian regime still has the capacity to fight in this conflict. They threaten not only Israel, but also Gulf countries with the launch of ballistic missiles, trying to choke off the global energy supply. Although the leadership has been decimated, they are able to replace those people. And they say they will continue to launch attacks against the U.S., its forces, and allies throughout the Middle East.
We continue. Trey Yang in Tel Aviv. Thank you, Trump, and I pay tribute to the 6 U.S. service members who died when a refueling plane crashed over Iraq last week. The president was at the ceremony at a base in Delaware for the repatriation of the bodies. They were Major John Alex Kleiner from Alabama, Captain Ariana Savino from Washington, and Technical Sergeant Ashley Pruitt from Bardstown, Kentucky. Captain Seth Koval from Miami Mooresville, Indiana, Captain Curtis Angst from Wilmington, Ohio, and Technical Sergeant Tyler Simmons from Columbus, Ohio. Of course, we thank each of these American heroes for their service and for making the ultimate sacrifice to protect our freedom.
Today, the top intelligence leaders returned to the Capitol to testify before the House committee at the annual hearing on global threats.
This comes after senators pressed on whether Iran is an imminent threat. Mark Meredith is live from Washington with the details. Hello, Mark.
Carly and Todd, good morning. Today, representatives will question the heads of the FBI, CIA, and National Intelligence. They are expected to demand answers about the war with Iran and the reasons behind the president's attack. On Wednesday, senators questioned intelligence officials about contradictory messages regarding Iran's nuclear capabilities. The hearing comes after a Trump counterterrorism official resigned, denying that Iran was a nuclear threat. Although the White House and the Pentagon say that Operation Epic Fury is a success, they admit that the Iranian regime is still standing.
The intelligence community assesses that the regime in Iran appears to be intact, but largely degraded. Due to the attacks on its leadership and its military capabilities, its ability to project conventional military power has been largely destroyed, leaving it with few options. Iran's strategic position has been significantly degraded. Even if the regime remains intact, the intelligence community assesses that internal tensions are likely to increase as Iran's economy worsens.
The big question is, what is the real risk to the CME? Is it from lone wolves or sleeper cells? For some lawmakers, Iran poses little threat, but others see any action as overdue.
I would say that any impartial assessment of the situation, even based on open sources, would reflect the danger that Iran, the regime, poses to the United States. They have been at war with the West since 1979 during the Iranian Revolution, and they have American blood on their hands.
If that's correct, I think so. Iran has been a constant threat to the United States for a long time and has posed an immediate threat now.
Besides Iran, they should be questioned about Cuba, Venezuela, and North Korea, countries monitored by their departments. It will be an interesting hearing. Todd and Carly, back to you.
Another big day at the Capitol. Mark, thank you. We have with us the Republican Congresswoman from New York and member of the House Intelligence Committee, Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, the American people are scared talking in markets and gas stations. They fear that one of these lone wolf attacks or something bigger could hit them in their community. And even though the numbers and percentages show that the risk is very, very low, people are still afraid. So, how safe should the average American watching this right now feel as they go about their daily life?
This has been a problem for a long time. We had 4 years of open borders under President Joe Biden's administration, which make up most of New York's northern border. It was attacked. We had a huge number, about 80 to 90% of people on terrorist watch lists. They were crossing our northern border, taking advantage of the patrol agents being moved, but really bad people were actually crossing the border. Like those lone wolves connected to terrorism and figures from international organized crime entering the country, that's where we see fraud. In several states like California, Minnesota, and other places, they managed to take advantage of the United States, but it's no surprise that we're seeing these lone wolf attacks. People being, influenced by extremist ideologies that come from all kinds of sources, whether it's the internet or even things they're seeing on TV, turning them into extremists and leading them to commit fraud. But I just want to say one thing about our military and the outstanding work they are doing. From what we see in open sources, our military does an incredible job and the American people are proud of them. As it should be, all this negativity from certain media about our actions in Iran is anti-American, in my opinion. We need to support our troops. We need to support this mission. It has been carried out with excellence, and I believe it is something the American people can be proud of. We are eliminating a global risk. A country like Iran, ruled by Ayatollahs, whose family members live an opulent Western lifestyle, while maintaining this facade of an extreme regime that kills people and funds groups around the world, reaching other places, even our country, and crossing our borders, but also causing disruptions in the Middle East and threatening our allies there. And look, you just reported this morning that there was an attack on a gas pipeline, a pipeline in Qatar, or a gas refinery in Qatar.
Meu objetivo em 6 meses é que não. Congratulations on leaving. Good morning on the growth. We're going to say so people understand that we're out there protecting them and working with them inside. Part of it is not Oswichiwa and don't let it. Estar as pessoas.
As I said in my opening statement, I want to protect the country, bring peace of mind, and restore confidence in the agency. I'm not going to be the smartest guy in any room I walk into, but I know how to find talent and I know how to bring those people together.
Senator Rand Paul is totally against it for personal reasons, while John Fetterman said he is in favor. What do you think of Senator Mullen, and how do you see the rest of this confirmation process?
Look, Senator Mullen was excellent. He brought clear goals. Empowering people is what we need at DHS. We need a change in morale. We need people at DHS to feel supported by the leadership. And for a mission that is, without a doubt, our top priority, the law enforcement agency. Look, I respect Rand Paul, but his mission during the hearing, as I watched, was really just to disparage Markwayne Mullin. Not because of his qualifications to be Secretary of DHS, but rather because of personal issues he had with him. I thought Markwayne Mullin, a former colleague, did very well and will do a great job at DHS.
You heard it.
We'll be keeping an eye on it here. Claudia Tenney.
Thank you, thank you.